I don't have intro, but I have another video on the new Twilight DLC. We are building for the Red Fox today, and we are doing that in our old-timey zoo. And the reason that I've picked the fox to put into our old-timey zoo, if you've never seen this series, it is about building a zoo like it would be in the 20th century, so like around, from 1930 to 1960, think we said, like, this is just an old-timey zoo. That is what we do in this series, and the reason why I picked the red fox for this, it is kind of a personal story of my mom, or not really of my mom, but a memory that is, like, very ingrained in my mind, because my mom, I remember my mom and I were at the zoo, and I was like, have you noticed that there's never foxes in zoos? Like, I've never seen foxes in a zoo. And she was like, oh, when I was seeing, there was foxes all the time in all the zoos, but they always smelled super bad. And she had this, like, very, very real memory of foxes in zoos smelling so bad that people didn't want to stick around their enclosure too much. And, like, she swears that foxes aren't kept in zoos anymore because they smell so bad. And that is why, for some reason, I think of foxes as an old-timey zoo animal that is not kept anymore, which probably has no real life anything to it. But just, I don't know, I have this, like, memory of my mom going off about smelly foxes. So, that's why I picked the fox. I gotta say that the enclosure that I built is very straightforward and very much not, how do I say, perfectly done for the fox. You could put a variety of animals in there probably, and if I ever have a different idea for the fox, then I probably will. This is one of the enclosures that probably a zoo would keep that way. I don't think it's horrible in comparison to the ones that we already have done. That would definitely not be done that way in today's zoo climate anymore. This, I think, is kind of a low budget one that isn't horrible. It's not a beautiful, amazing enclosure, but it is okay, I guess. I've not really paid attention. Maybe it's too small, but I don't know. It's okay, and it could be that we maybe put another animal in here I said that before. If I have another idea for the fox, because I do think the fox is a good filler animal, and this could also have, like, maybe small hoof stock in there. Like I said, it's really not specialized to a certain animal, this enclosure. But you need these kind of enclosures as well. And the kind of reason that I did this was, first of all, I still wanted to play more with the Twilight Pack, and I didn't really see in my other series where to put the fox. And I also needed a quick build. This was very, very quick. It took 2 hours, which is nothing usually. Like, I would say now that I'm like I do build a lot, I think usually my building time idles around like 6 hours per build. Obviously, depending on the specific build, but I would say 6 hours is something that, I kind of plan when I record. So this took 2 hours because it's really, really not that special. And I wanted something that was kind of easier to build. Not just because I think this kind of fits an old-timey zoo, that it's not all super expensive. And I think that's kind of important. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but I also, just for like timing reasons, didn't want a very video that was going to take me a lot of time to do, because I really wanted to take part in the spooky contest that Simply Savannah is doing, and I also want to partake in the new contest by Frontier with the bat enclosure. So these are two things that I had to take some time to work on, but the Simply Savannah one I can post before the contest is done. And I'm not sure if you can do that with the Frontier contest, but that is also something that I still have to finish. But it has some more time, and the Simply Savannah one doesn't, so that's what I'm going to do today. I hope I'll get everything done, because I also have to go to work later. And so I just wanted something quick that was quick to build, that I could squeeze in between building for the 2 bigger things, and also to not have a super long editing process, because obviously if you have more footage, editing also takes longer because you have to go through all of it. Obviously I don't watch it back in real time, I speed it all up and then watch it and cut out parts that I feel like are just repetitive or flickering, or sometimes there's just a lag in there, sometimes, there's crazy things happening all the time to footage, and especially when it's sped up and there's a lot of trees around, and a lot of times while building, you don't really notice it, but you have like half your screen covered with a tree, and it just, when you move around a lot through trees, it just looks awful. So these things you kind of tend to cut out to make it more smooth. And also, sometimes you just try things and they don't work, and it's like 10 minutes that you can save by just taking out all the things you tried and didn't do. I think probably people who are faster at building, they don't have that much of a try and error period that they have. Like, they have a very clear vision, or they have a quicker idea of what pieces to use for certain things. But I don't know. I mean, I think half the work is knowing your pieces, and I think you just get faster and faster at building. So if you're someone who's worried about spending so much time on builds, I think the more you know the pieces and the further you go into a project, the faster you're gonna get. Because also, once you know your project, you also know the kind of pieces to use. Like right now you saw me just reuse one of the fences. Obviously the first time you build for something, you don't have that. You don't have something that you can just reuse. And I mean, you can use a blueprint, but that's not always going to fit the feel or style of a building. So the further in you go, the easier it gets to just reuse things, or just have a feel for how you want it to be, if that makes sense. So you don't need to get to know your project anymore. So yeah, that's why it gets faster and faster, easier and easier, and yeah. Well, right now, you can just see me use these flowers for this little like in between section. If I hadn't had the enclosure to pick the flowers from, I would have to pick them out. And so I know that if I continue out from this point and there's more like untouched grass areas, I can reuse those flowers. I don't have to look for them. So the further in you go in a project, the faster you build. At least for me, that's the thing. And yeah, maybe. So I know that a lot of people get stuck when they build the entrance and then they don't really know how to go off from there. I don't really have that problem. My problem is I build an entire thing and then never build an entrance. That is, I don't like building entrances. But yeah, maybe that's something to look forward to. It gets easier and easier the more you go into it. And for this, I mean, you can see for this park, I have not built an entrance yet. And for the base game one, not an entrance yet. And the other ones do have an entrance, but that was because I started the channel. I was like, no, people are gonna judge if I don't start off with the entrance. But I already learned, no they don't, and it's way better to just do things the way they're fun and make sense to you. And yeah. I don't know. This is a very, it's kind of low budget. Did I say that? I do think I said that. But yeah, I don't know. Quick build, easy build, straightforward thing. Putting a little bit of dirt and details on there and call it a day. Thank you so much. Oh, wait, no. I don't have to thank you. We still have a wheel-time part to get to. Funny thing, I only have like the crazy color variants because I put the mod in that gives you the the quavy color variations. And And so yeah, there's only like crazy colored foxes in this right now because I couldn't get a normal one or regular code. So don't be confused by that. I'll probably put in different ones for a final tour of the zoo or something like that. So thank you so much. Wait, no, I don't. I don't know why I want to finish. I swear I don't want to get rid of you. I'm confused right now. Okay, so see you in the real time part. All right. All right, here we are. I just do think I noticed that one of the visitors is whistling the sound, like the melody, like the title music of the game, whatever. It's incredibly crowded because it's the newest animal, but that's not too far off. All of my old reference pictures actually, I noticed that there's a lot of people in every picture, but I think we can still kind of see what's up here, and they're starting to leave, which is great. Yeah, let's just situate us here in the park. This is the penguin house. This is the sea lion pool, and I do think from up above, this looks so much like old zoo plans, like very even, straight, planned. So that is nice. If you haven't ever seen one of the old-timey videos, we do get rid of the black and white effect later on. But we start out with it because I like it. And so yeah, I don't know if these two paths, how I will connect them up later on, if I'll get rid of this maybe. We will see. So, let us go into... I'm trying to wait for some of them to get away here, because then I can put us down. Some of them are watching from here, which is kind of annoying, but okay. Well, I don't think they are going to leave anytime soon. Let's just try. So. Oh god. No. Oh wow, wouldn't you know it? It just cleared out. There's just no reason that there's no people coming through anymore. Okay. So now that we have a reasonable amount of guests here, I love this. This looks so like idyllic and nice. And back in the day, wasn't that crowded. And I love these kind of areas in zoos. So, let's go over here. Like I said, this is quite simple. It's really not a special enclosure. I think the little details of the flow work we will look at in color because that's easier to see. I'm sorry, okay, relax. There is a filming in process, okay? This obviously we will fix and make prettier once we know what's up here. I don't like to do these areas and then have to redo them once I know what's next to it. So let's go in here. It's nothing special, really. It's just a little hut for the foxes and the keepers. And this is the interior. Really not crazy. Nothing super... Nothing here screams fox, if you know what I mean. But yeah. So let's get out here again. Have another look before we turn on color. Hold on. Wow, now this seems so colorful. Like crazy bright once you've gotten used to the black and white. So yeah, again in color, this is still really cute and beautiful. I'm falling in love with these like white flowers from the conservation pack. I know I'm late to the party, but they're beautiful for long grass. So yeah, I said let's look at the floor and the ground covering and some bushes. Again, it's not a really like crazy enclosure, and the foxes, they're all sleeping. Poor things. Okay. Oh, look at this one having a beautiful sleep in the flowers. That's so cute. So beautiful. They're all so beautiful. Pretty and beautiful. So yeah. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you think this fits the zoo. I think this is one of the candidates for probably continuing to exist if we ever do a modernized version of this. This could definitely be one of those enclosures that just sticks around, maybe gets a smaller animal in, but isn't really changed much. So yeah, let me know what you think. That's all. Bye!